Tonight, we examine a troubling story at the crossroads of politics, privacy, and power, a story that has sent shockwaves through Maryland's political landscape and raised urgent questions about the ethical boundaries of those who govern us. Maryland State Senator Ronald L. Watson, a Democrat representing Prince George's County, now finds himself at the center of a federal investigation that has gripped both his constituents and colleagues. Unlike the usual headlines about campaign finance violations or policy disputes, the accusations against Senator Watson are deeply personal and profoundly disturbing. Prosecutors allege that Watson used a secretly recorded, intimate video as a weapon, an attempt to blackmail and silence those who dared to challenge him. The video, reportedly obtained without consent, became a tool for intimidation, casting a dark shadow over the senator's reputation and raising fears about the misuse of private information in the halls of power. The federal indictment, handed down in October 2025, charges Watson with witness tampering and obstruction of justice, serious felonies that carry the potential for years behind bars. These are not minor infractions or technicalities. They strike at the heart of the justice system and the trust that citizens place in their elected officials. This case isn't about policy disagreements or the rough and tumble of political campaigns. Instead, it's about the alleged abuse of personal privacy for political gain, a line that, if crossed, threatens the very foundation of democratic debate and civil society. The allegations suggest a public servant who, rather than engaging in open debate, chose to weaponize the private lives of his opponents to crush dissent and maintain his grip on power. Such actions, if proven true, would represent a profound betrayal of public trust. For Maryland and beyond, this case serves as a stark reminder: the actions of elected officials, both public and private, are subject to scrutiny, accountability, and the rule of law. The public's right to transparency and ethical leadership is not negotiable, no matter how high the office. As the legal proceedings unfold, the case will test the boundaries between political hardball and outright criminality. It will force lawmakers, legal experts, and citizens alike to grapple with where those boundaries should be drawn and what happens when they are crossed. Ultimately, the outcome will compel a community and an entire state to confront what accountability truly means for those in power. It will challenge us all to consider how we hold our leaders responsible and what kind of conduct we are willing to accept from those who represent us. The eyes of Maryland, and indeed the nation, will be watching closely as this dramatic chapter in political history unfolds. The scandal at the heart of this story revolves around a single, deeply invasive act. Senator Watson is accused of secretly placing a hidden camera to record two of his most outspoken political critics during a private, intimate encounter in February 2024. The incident, which took place in a hotel room, was not only a violation of privacy, but also a shocking breach of trust within the political community. The senator's alleged actions have sent shockwaves through the halls of government, raising urgent questions about the lengths to which some politicians might go to silence their opponents. Prosecutors insist this was no mere accident or lapse in judgment. It was a deliberate, calculated move designed to gain leverage over those who stood in the way of a controversial real estate project that Senator Watson strongly supported. According to investigators, the senator sought to use the compromising footage as a tool to intimidate and manipulate his adversaries, hoping to sway the outcome of a heated political battle. The victims, both well known for their vocal opposition to the development, were targeted specifically because of their activism. Their efforts to rally the community and challenge the project had made them high-profile adversaries, and this made them vulnerable to such underhanded tactics. The incident has sparked outrage among activists and citizens alike, who see it as an attack not just on individuals, but on the very principles of free speech and democratic dissent. The secret recording quickly escalated what was once a local political dispute into a high-stakes federal case, drawing national attention and setting the stage for serious charges, including blackmail and witness tampering. The legal proceedings have become a focal point for debates about privacy, abuse of power, and the ethical boundaries of political competition. The video itself became a weapon, transforming a private, vulnerable moment into a tool for public coercion and manipulation. Its existence has not only damaged reputations but also raised fears about how technology can be misused in the pursuit of political gain. Prosecutors argue that this act crossed a bright red line, turning what might have been fierce political rivalry into outright criminal conduct. The case now stands as a stark warning about the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of safeguarding both privacy and integrity in public life. The motive behind the alleged crimes? A heated battle over a luxury housing development in Prince George's County. Senator Watson championed the project, seeing it as a win for his district, but community activists, including the two victims, fiercely opposed it, citing concerns about the environment, traffic, and neighborhood character. Their organized resistance became a major obstacle for Watson and the developers. Prosecutors alleged that the senator's commitment to the project drove him to extreme, illegal measures to silence opposition. The real estate fight wasn't just a backdrop, it was the catalyst for the alleged scheme. This case shows how local political battles can spiral into criminal territory when power is abused. With the secret video in hand, Senator Watson allegedly confronted one of the victims in March 2024. Prosecutors say he threatened to release the explicit recording unless both victims stopped opposing the development. This alleged threat forms the basis of the witness tampering charge. The law protects citizens' right to speak out. Using blackmail to silence them is a direct attack on democracy. The victims faced a devastating choice: abandon their convictions or risk public humiliation. This moment, prosecutors argue, turned a private violation into a federal crime. The senator's alleged actions escalated a political dispute into a battle over the integrity of the civic process. After the alleged threat, federal law enforcement got involved. By September 2024, a grand jury was investigating Senator Watson. The FBI gathered evidence, interviewed witnesses, and sought digital records to corroborate the victims' claims. The convening of a grand jury signaled that prosecutors saw credible evidence of federal felonies. For Watson, the investigation marked a turning point. His alleged attempt to control a local dispute had drawn national scrutiny. Over the following months, investigators quietly built their case. The stage was set for a public reckoning. When Senator Watson learned of the federal investigation, prosecutors say he tried to cover his tracks. He allegedly deleted the secret video from his devices and cloud accounts, a classic case of obstruction of justice. Digital forensics can often recover deleted files, but the intent to destroy evidence is itself a crime. Prosecutors also allege Watson instructed one victim to lie to investigators, denying the video's existence and the threat. These actions, if proven, show a clear effort to impede justice and manipulate the investigation. Obstruction charges can be as serious as the underlying crime. Rather than cooperate, the senator allegedly dug himself deeper. The cover-up became a central part of the case against him. On October 23, 2025, a federal grand jury indicted Senator Watson on 2 felony counts: witness tampering and obstruction of justice. Each charge carries up to 20 years in prison, underscoring the gravity of the allegations. The indictment moved the case from secret investigation to public prosecution. Watson will be arraigned, plead not guilty, and prepare for trial. The prosecution must prove its case beyond a reasonable doubt, relying on witness testimony and digital evidence. The indictment marks a turning point, allegations deemed credible enough for a full criminal trial. Watson's future, freedom, and legacy now hang in the balance. The public will finally see the evidence laid out in court. The indictment has devastated Senator Watson's political career. His reputation is in tatters, and calls for his resignation are mounting. Colleagues face pressure to distance themselves, with possible disciplinary actions looming. The scandal fuels public cynicism and hands ammunition to political opponents. Even if acquitted, Watson's public image may never recover. If convicted, his career is over and his seat vacated. The case has shifted focus from policy to scandal, paralyzing his ability to govern. For Watson, the legal battle has already cost him the trust and influence he once held. As the case heads to trial, the stakes are high, not just for Senator Watson, but for the very foundation of public trust in government. The eyes of the nation are fixed on the courthouse, where the outcome will send ripples far beyond the walls of the courtroom. This is more than a legal battle. It's a moment that will test the strength of our democratic institutions and the principles they are built upon. In the coming days, the prosecution will lay out its case, presenting evidence and calling witnesses to the stand. Each piece of testimony, every document, and every argument will be scrutinized not only by the defense, but by a public eager for answers. The defense, in turn, will challenge every claim, seeking to cast doubt and protect the senator's reputation. The courtroom will become a stage where truth, credibility, and justice are all put to the test. The outcome will ultimately hinge on whether the jury is convinced that Senator Watson crossed the line from politics into criminal conduct. Jurors must weigh the evidence carefully, setting aside personal beliefs and focusing solely on the facts. Their decision will not only determine the senator's fate, but will also send a powerful message about the boundaries of acceptable behavior for those in power. This case stands as a crucial test of accountability for public officials, reinforcing the fundamental principle that non endowed through one skald sprad. A non endowed, regardless of status or influence, is above the law. The proceedings will demonstrate whether our justice system can hold even the most powerful to account, and whether the rule of law truly prevails. It's a stark reminder of the immense responsibility that comes with holding public office, and the serious consequences that can follow when that responsibility is abused. For elected leaders, the trial is a warning that ethical lapses and abuses of power will not go unnoticed or unpunished. The proceedings are being closely watched by journalists, legal experts, and citizens alike, all seeking to gauge the integrity of the justice system. Every development is analyzed and debated, as the public looks for reassurance that justice will be served impartially and transparently. For the public, the scandal serves as a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked authority and the importance of vigilance in a healthy democracy. It sparks conversations about ethics, transparency, and the need for robust oversight of those who wield power. As the trial unfolds, the demand for ethical leadership and constant vigilance in our democracy has never been clearer. The outcome will shape not only the future of one senator, but also the public's faith in the institutions that are meant to serve and protect us all.